Retail crime in Australia is out of control. It's at record levels, and the violence used by armed thugs is frightening. Staff and shoppers are scared. Businesses and police at their wits' end. There is a way to quickly identify repeat offenders. It's just we can't use it here.
What's happening is frightening.
They don't deserve to be spat on. They don't deserve to be punched. They shouldn't be threatened or assaulted.
Retail workers in the firing line, Australian Retail Council CEO Chris Rodwell.
We had more than 800,000 incidents of retail crime in the past year.
Worth almost $9 billion plus.
The physical and psychological impacts of these crimes is horrendous.
It's happening in malls, spilling out onto the streets. Anyone can get innocently caught up in the mayhem, including our own Marty King.
It's a beautiful sunny morning. I come down to get the newspaper and I walk straight into this.
Mark and Craig run Marbled Meats.
They start to attack me.
Mark runs the grocery store Foodworks. And this mob, many wearing masks, are running riot.
And then there was this knife attack in Moonee Ponds, Melbourne.
I know police officers that just told me to go carry this in your pocket because the only thing you can't get charged with. We're not allowed to carry pepper spray. Rexona, you can.
It's a worry that something needs to be done, but the question is what?
In New Zealand, this is the answer.
Scanning every face entering this Auckland supermarket.
Facial recognition technology developed in Auckland.
So it is good when there's actually New Zealand solutions that can solve a New Zealand problem.
Carolyn Young is CEO of the New Zealand Retailers Association.
What we could do is identify recidivist offenders and violent offenders that have come in store before and be alerted to them entering store again, which means that you can take some measures to control who's in store.
With a 6-month trial now complete, retailers are wrapped with the results.
We've absolutely seen a reduction in the violent retail crime and recidivist offending in store. What's going to be happening now is there'll be further rollout of facial recognition across New Zealand in a wider range of stores.
In Australia, it's a very different story. When Bunnings tried to protect its staff, the Privacy Commissioner, Carly Kind, stepped in and ruled it went too far.
There was no consent asked for or given. There was also no notice given. There was no signs notifying people that facial recognition technology was in play.
Privacy won over safety and the technology was taken off the shelf. While over the ditch, the Kiwis are pretty chill.
The majority of consumers were comfortable that facial recognition was making a difference for it to be safer to be in store and for staff in store, so they understood why it was there and why it was a good thing.
South Australian supermarkets boss John Paul Drake is fed up with being an easy target.
The serial offender hit our stores 27 times.
High-priced meat being wheeled out by brazen thieves. JP took matters into his own hands.
Said, look mate, you're not walking out with that meat. And he said, yeah, I'm walking out, you can't do anything about it. And I said, unfortunately for you, I can.
In New South Wales, a police task force
Police Sergeant, open the door!
has been raiding organised gangs stealing in bulk.
Do you really need that much Red Bull?
We're seeing individuals steal upwards of $1,300 worth of grocery items in one go.
Why so much olive oil? Do you really need that much? What are you cooking up?
So is it only a matter of time until it finds its way to a supermarket near you? Carolyn Young thinks so.
I don't doubt that stores in Australia will be looking to New Zealand's example and seeing what we're doing here and learning from your cousins across the Tasman.
Well, the company that's designed the facial recognition technology is called Aurora. Its Vice President of Trust and Safety is Nick McDonnell, who joins me now. So, Nick, how successful is this technology in getting retail crime down in the New Zealand stores that are using it?
Thanks for having me, Deb. The facial recognition technology that we've developed, the live facial recognition technology, it's early days, but we're seeing some really good results. So, for example, we've seen one of our customers, a nationwide retailer, 200 odd alerts that have come through to them. 90% of those have ended without any harm, have ended with those individuals leaving the store. So the early results of it are promising.
So it's having success. How does it actually work?
Yeah, so if you can imagine, we work with 50,000 stores around the world, and what we do at a core level is we give them their data back to them in terms of a database of information that they already have about people stealing within their stores. What we've just built, and we call it subject recognition, and has a live facial recognition component to it, that will then pull from that database the highest harm offenders. It's not everyone. It's not your kid stealing the candy bar like people like to talk about. It's actually your highest harm offenders, people who carry weapons, people who assault, people who are violent, people who are stealing, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product.
So if it's got that live facial recognition, is it stopping the crime from happening in the first place, or is it just helping police to identify after the fact?
This is a retailer tool and it is a preventative tool. So what it will do is when someone walks into the store and their face is scanned and there is an alert on that person based on that reference list of those high harm offenders I just talked about, the store worker at the front of the store will get a suggestion on their phone saying, is this person that person? Basically, and a human will make that final decision. So this is not an automated machine decision. A human will make that decision, and then they'll determine how to engage, what to do, or not to engage at all if the person is dangerous. The big thing here is it gives that frontline retail worker those precious moments to be able to prepare for a response to a high harm offender.
We know retail crime is at crisis levels here in Australia, particularly in Melbourne. If Australian businesses want to use your technology, what's stopping them?
Well, at the moment, we have a number of Australian businesses that use our technology for that core retail crime information, and we've helped them over a number of years and been in market with them, and they're some of the best partners we have in the world. The live facial recognition component that we're now moving into, the Australian retailers are waiting for some regulatory certainty because obviously the story you've just talked about with the Bunnings example, there's a lot of stuff to happen in the regulatory space in order for those businesses to be able to invest and be able to be certain they're not going to go down a whole investigation path for trying to keep their people safe with that. So Australia, presently, we're not able to roll it out there.
So for the case of Bunnings, it's currently fighting the ruling by the Privacy Commissioner that it breached customers' privacy by rolling out this technology. Was it the case that Bunnings was using the technology incorrectly, or is it the fault of the technology that they've been pulled up for?
So the technology itself is safe, it's incredibly accurate, and the accuracy of these technologies, including the removal of bias, have come a very long way in the last 5 years. So the technology is good. As the Commissioner was just on there, I think there were some issues around notice. But the really big thing here, I think, and what it turns on is we have to decide, is the use of this technology proportionate to the threat that is being faced in the violence in the retail crime space? We say it is a proportionate response. The data shows that. And I have to take my hat off to Bunnings for leading the way on this and releasing that footage that showed the reality of what their workers are dealing with on often a daily basis. We saw last year, Deb, a 66% increase in the use of weapons in retail crime in Australia.
Yeah,
that is
frightening what is occurring. So do you think that it is inevitable that this technology will be rolled out? It's being used, as you say, with success across the ditch in New Zealand. Is it inevitable it will be used in Australia?
Well, Deb, it's not just New Zealand, right? It's the UK, it's the US, it's probably going to be Canada as well. So we are rolling this out to many other jurisdictions. So my answer would be yes, I do think it is inevitable. There is a bit of regulatory water to go under the bridge, but we have to stop saying this as a privacy versus a safety thing. You can actually have both of those things if you have the right safeguards in place. And we think we've built something that does have the right safeguards in place, so you can have the best of both worlds. Innocent shoppers have nothing to worry about here. Their image will be immediately, instantaneously deleted and never stored anywhere. This is facial recognition for the purposes of crime and safety only. For the purposes of identification, there is no profiling, there is no tracking, there is no monitoring, there is no
it's something has got to be done about the soaring rates of retail crime, that is for sure. Nikki, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Deb.